Parsley's Pedophile Pals.
Stop it!
How many friends do you have that are pedophiles? I mean, you know, friends that you would hang out with, you admire, you would employ them if you could. You'd call them up to take a commemorative photo for a special occasion. How many friends like that do you have that are pedophiles? The answer is probably none. Hopefully none. Zero. Nunca. Nada. But that is not the case with Rod Parsley. No, not by a long shot. He's got a bunch of pedophile friends. Now, Rod Parsley would like you to believe that he really cares about the children. He cares so much that he's willing to pretend to cry for the children.
This isn't something I came up with.
And right after that, he's willing to ask you for $1,000 to save the children.
I'm going to ask everybody that the Holy Spirit says go to sow $1,000 today.
Even if you don't have it.
You say, well, I can't sow $1,000. Sow $250 and then start believing God for the rest.
But do you really believe him? Okay, so let's talk about one of Rod Parsley's pedophile pals, and that would be a man named Terry Kelly. Now, they go back all the way to the 80s and the early days of World Harvest, actually before they even called it World Harvest, Word of Life, I believe it was. And Terry Kelly, creepily enough, began his association with Rod as the youth leader, but we'll move and fast forward to the mid-90s. Terry Kelly is called an elder, and he's on staff. He's a paid staffer at World Harvest Church, and then Rod decides to illegally hire some children, and one of those children was a young girl. The reason it was illegal is because they were under the age of 14, and Terry Kelly molested an under the age of 14-year-old girl, and this went on for a while. We don't need to go into that. And by the way, this is all alleged, because all we've done is looked at scores of emails and scores of texts and have scores of phone calls and talked to eyewitnesses and collected the documents, but whatever. We'll call it alleged. So Terry Kelly molests this girl. This goes on for several years. She gets away from all of that mess, and after years of PTSD and trauma and expensive counseling, she writes a very gracious letter to Pastor Rod Parsley in 2005, merely to inform him of what happened and to alert them to make sure that never happens to anybody else again. How did Rod respond? He basically, through his secretary, Joanna Tweet Ridgway, basically said, pound salt. In other words, go talk to my attorney. Refuse to meet, refuse to talk, refuse to show any compassion or care or concern whatsoever. And you would think that that would be the end of the story, but it's not, and it gets worse. So, nothing was reported to the authorities, even though that's the law, and nothing happened to Terry Kelly except maybe he got a pay raise, because sometime later, a year or two later, he took possession of a brand new 2007 Pontiac Solstice. And the earliest that 2007 come out would be the fall of 2006. So we know it's after 2005, but he drives off the showroom floor in a brand new Pontiac Solstice and enjoys it. He's in his heyday for at least 6 months or so, but then he was finally fired. And why was he fired? Well, according to multiple sources, it's because he got a young minor child pregnant that attended World Harvest Church with her family, and she may have been a Harvest Prep student. Now, we do not know if the baby was allowed to be born. We just don't know that. We will probably find out. Now you may think, okay, that's the end of the story. That's horrible. But actually, there's even something else. You would think that Rod, at this point, would say to Terry Kelly, I don't ever want to see you. I don't ever want to talk to you. I want you to move away. Don't ever darken the door of this place again. But no, you would be mistaken, my dear friend, because in 2018, Rod Parsley posted a picture of his legacuh with members that were with him from the very beginning, and look who Rod Parsley wrapped his ever-loving arm around, none other than pedophile Terry Kelly. Now, I'm going to go back to the first question that I asked. How many pedophile friends do you have? Why does Rod Parsley have pedophile friends? Why does he keep those people in his circle? If you have something that you'd like to share, please email ohioforfreedom@gmail.com. All correspondence is confidential unless you indicate otherwise. And we'll see you next time on another edition of Rod Parsley's Pedophile Pals.
Rod Parsley's Pedophile Pals. Stop it!